Railroads put Big Sandy, Texas on the map in 1877 when two railroads intersected at a point known as the Big Sandy Switch. At that intersection, the small town of Big Sandy soon began to develop.
There was a time when Big Sandy was actually called informally the Crossroads of East Texas. We are one of the only areas east of the Dallas area that has trains that go both north and south and east and west.
The backbone of the Big Sandy community was the production of cotton. The railroads were instrumental in shipping the cotton to market, and a train depot was built to handle the increasing rail traffic. Many commercial enterprises constructed their buildings near their tracks in the decades leading up to World War I. There were two banks, a hotel, cafes, and numerous stores. Much of the commercial activity took place on the downtown Main Street. The Roaring Twenties saw a continuation of prosperity and growth in Big Sandy.
If you look in some of the history books in regard to Big Sandy, look at pictures from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Sometimes on weekends you'll see the pictures of cars in the downtown area just filled with people.
Successful townspeople at the end of the 19th century began to build new houses near the railroad tracks and elsewhere in the small town. The town prospered until the Great Depression of the 1930s and World War II, which followed. With the downturn of the national economy, many local residents were forced to move to more prosperous regions of the country. While improved local highways were a welcomed development, it allowed residents of Big Sandy to more easily drive to the nearby larger cities to do their shopping. That resulted in local businesses closing when they could no longer compete with merchants in the larger cities. Though many local businesses have closed in the last few decades, a number of their buildings remain standing. Some have been maintained and are currently occupied, while others are looking for new occupants. Many of the fine houses which were built in the prosperous years also remain standing and continue to serve as homes for several Big Sandy residents. Some of the houses, however, are now unoccupied and in need of restoration. The Lowry House is one of the early homes built beside the railroad tracks. Now known as the Gorman House, the building has been unoccupied for many years and is in need of refurbishing. One of the empty business buildings on Main Street, which once housed the Farmer State Bank and was more recently occupied by the Masonic Lodge, is in need of restoration. Two of the brick buildings across the street from the Masonic Lodge, which once housed businesses owned by the Prothero family, are now only brick shells in need of reconstruction. Some of the Big Sandy citizens share their comments about the benefits and advantages of their hometown.
It's such a warm community with plenty of activities for everyone. Anyone who wants to be involved should be involved because there's plenty to do.
I first came to Big Sandy in 1966 and I fell in love with the town. Big Sandy had a slightly Old South feeling. It had that feeling that I just fell in love with. And the people are what make Big Sandy such a special place.
It's a very charming community. The majority of the people who live here are very big-hearted. They genuinely try to help people. It is a friendly community, and there's a good quality of life here.
When you look around at some of the old homes here and things that need to be restored, have porches, and for years people sit on the front porch and wave to people and that kind of thing.
While Big Sandy residents are concerned with preserving their past history and landmark structures, they also look forward to a revitalization of their hometown.
We have worked diligently to secure the purchase of a few buildings here in the downtown area to hopefully restore them because it's an important part of our history.
But we would like to revitalize the community, and because we have a little motto that we use at times called care, share, and bear. And we like to go ahead and let people know we care for them so they want to move here, businesses and people, and that we want to share what we have, and we'll help them, bear their burdens or do what we can. So it's a community that really works closely together, and we would like to revitalize it and restore it.